present I'm Sorry I Haven't a Clue, the antidote to panel games. At the piano is Colin Sell, and your chairman is Jack D.
Hello, and welcome to I'm Sorry I Haven't a Clue. We come to you from the historic Bath, the city known worldwide as the gateway to Swindon. In the centre of town stands the magnificent Bath Abbey, where visitors can view a memorial to Sir Isaac Pitman, who invented shorthand in 1858. Located in the North Choir aisle and inlaid with beautiful gold leaf, the plaque is a fitting epitaph to a life well lived. It reads, "Squiggle, squiggle, 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 1897. Bath's other crowning glory is its assembly rooms, built in 1771, which became an entertainment hub for fashionable Georgian society. Appropriately, the assembly rooms were until recently home to Bath's Fashion Museum, boasting a world-class collection of historical and contemporary fashions. Interested tourists can see how people dressed during every decade from the 1600s right up to the 1970s. Tourists keen to see how people dressed in the 1980s should visit Taunton. The astronomer William Herschel lived in Bath, and it was here in 1781 that Herschel discovered the unfortunately named planet Uranus. After years of classroom teasing and ridicule, science teachers have asked for Uranus to be renamed to reflect today's kinder, more inclusive society. So from now on, it's to be called Our-anus. The first ever stamp to be mailed was sent from Bath in 1840. The letter arrived in Gloucester 4 days later, a record that still stands to this day. Timeless national treasure Mary Berry was born and educated in Bath before leaving to perfect her cookery skills in Paris. It's believed her time in France prompted her love of baking. Apparently, young Mary had a eureka moment when she overheard Marie Antoinette declare, "Let them eat cake." Bath today is one of the most prosperous cities in the UK, and of its several districts, the area known as Widcombe is the most affluent, with an average property price of £1.2 million. In fact, so well off are the residents there that only last month the Widcombe branch of Wetherspoons closed and reopened as a bank. In 2016, an unexploded World War II bomb, the result of several raids by the Luftwaffe, was found just a metre beneath the playground at the Royal High Junior School in Lansdowne Road. Defusing the ordnance took longer than expected because when the police heard Bath bomb puts residents in danger, they inadvertently closed down the city's branch of Lush. However, the Luftwaffe aren't alone in coming here to bomb. Let's meet the teams. On my right, please welcome Pippa Evans and Tony Hawks. And on my left, Marcus Brigstocke and Rory Bremner. And taking her place at the desk next to me to enjoy an evening of scoring, please welcome the ever-delightful Samantha. Well, we begin this week with a round called Missed Hits. The world of books is notoriously fickle, and publishers know there's very little difference between a smash hit bestseller and the latest Jeffrey Archer. Choosing a good title for your book can also mean the difference between success and failure. So with this in mind, teams, I'd like you to please suggest the names of books almost certainly doomed to fail. Rory, you can start.
Alice's Adventures in Sunderland.
Pippa.
Angela's Ashtray.
Marcus.
The Simon Sharma Sutra.
Tony.
A sale of 2 titties.
The Little Ponce.
The 3 Brexiteers.
The replacement bus service children.
Emily Bronte's Laddering Tights.
MILF on the floss.
Miserable Les.
Here's Wally.
David Copperfield.
Maybe Dick.
A round island with a fridge magnet.
Prince Harry's book, Spare Us.
Time now for a musical round. As I ask the teams to sing one song to the tune of another. It's a complicated round which bears some explanation. Try to imagine a song's tune as a head cold and its accompanying words or lyrics as a mentholated decongestant lozenge. If one set of words or lyrics, the lozenge, are judged to be ineffective when combined with the head cold or tune, they can easily be replaced with an alternative brand of lozenge or different words. Incidentally, I was clearing out the bathroom cabinet the other day when I came upon the remains of a popular brand of cough lozenge. It was in poor shape and barely recognizable as a tune. Which reminds me, at the piano, Colin Sell. Yes, fans of Colin may be interested to learn that he's appearing in London's West End next month. Yeah, tickets are still available and can be picked up via the box office at Court 5, brackets noise abatement orders, Bow Street Magistrates, London West 1. OK, we'll start with you, Marcus. I'd like you to sing the words of There Was an Old Lady Who Swallowed a Fly to the tune of Sweet Caroline.
There was an old lady who swallowed a fly. I don't know why she swallowed a fly. Perhaps she'll die. There was an old lady who swallowed a spider that wriggled and wiggled and jiggled inside her. She swallowed the spider too. Catch the fly, I don't know why. She swallowed a fly. Perhaps she'll die. There was an old lady who swallowed a fly.
Thank you, Marcus Brigstocke, and thank you, all of you, the audience, for keeping your spirits going while you're OK, you now, Rory Bremner, I'd like you to sing the words of Come Into the Garden Maud to the tune of Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious.
Come into the garden, Maud, for the black bat night has flown. Come into the garden, Maud, I am here at the gate alone. I am here at the gate alone, and the woodbine spices are wafted abroad, and the musk of the rose is blown. Diddle-diddle-diddle, diddle-diddle-diddle, for a breeze of morning moves, and the planet of love is on high, beginning to faint in the light she loves. On a bed of daffodil sky, to faint in the light of the sun. She loves to faint in his light and to die. Oh, come into the garden, Maud, for the black light is flown. Come into the garden, Maud, I am here at the gate alone. I'm here at the gate alone. I'm here at the gate alone. Come into the garden, Maud, for the black light is flown. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, Rory. Well, you lost interest in clapping along to that, didn't you? Don't start what you can't finish. OK, Pippa Evans, it's your turn, and I'd like you to sing the words of the Teddy Bear's Picnic to the tune of Leonard Cohen's Hallelujah.
If you go down to the woods today, you're sure of a big surprise. If you go down to the woods today, you better go in disguise. For every bear that ever there was will gather there for certain, because today's the day the teddy bears have their picnic. Picnic time for teddy bears. The little teddy bears are having a lovely time today. Watch them, catch them unawares, and see them picnic on their holiday. See them gaily gad about. They love to play and shout. They never have any care. At 6 o'clock, their mummies and daddies will take them home to bed, because they're tired little teddy bears. Every teddy bear who's been good is sure of a treat today.
Got to be joking. And finally, Tony Hawks, I'd like you to sing the words of Horny by Moose T to the tune of the Can-Can.
You got me horny in the morning, and you know I tried to call you, but I can't find the telephone. I sent a message through the internet, but it rejected. I wrote a letter and I sent it with the post. The posting takes so long, so I've got to sing this song to let you know how I feel. What's the deal, babe? I can't wait for you. The things you make me do, my heart is ringing, so I'm singing. I'm horny, I'm horny, I'm horny, I'm horny, so horny, I'm horny, I'm horny, 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 horny. I'm so horny, horny, horny. I'm horny tonight, all night long. I'm horny, all night long. I'm horny, 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 all night long. I'm horny, horny, all night long. I'm horny, horny. The thing is, it's actually true. I am. It's true.
The next round is called Word for Word and is all about words. The West Country accent is justifiably famous worldwide and features many charming indigenous words, some still spoken in parts of Bristol today. For example, wasps are known as jaspers, plimsolls are called daps, and a potential husband is known as a cousin. So in this round, each team takes it in turn to exchange a series of words, while the opposing team should challenge if they detect a connection between any of these words. Okay, so I'd like you to start exchanging completely unconnected words, Pippa and Tony, and Rory and Marcus. Your job is to try to spot a connection, and if I uphold the challenge, I'll ask you to take over and so on. So off you go, please, Pippa and Tony.
Wensleydale.
Kaleidoscope.
Kryptonite.
Denizen.
Wish.
Stoked.
Pantry.
Caramel.
Pantry caramel, Rory?
Well, that's obvious, isn't it? You'll find caramel in the pantry.
I don't think so. No, I'd keep it in the fridge. Back to you, Pippa and Tony.
Wall.
Haemophiliac.
Desperation.
Ignite.
Finsbury Park.
Mornington Crescent.
No, we're slipping in and out of time zones now. This is not even the right game. So back to you, Pippa and Tony.
Oh,
Okay.
us again.
Yeah, brilliant.
Yes, you again.
Dragonfly.
Ramifications.
Marks and Spencer.
You haven't written enough words down there.
Marcus has come in with a challenge.
Well, there's a connection between Marks and Spencer. They both run a shop.
Good point. I think you've won a bonus point there with that challenge, Marcus. So over to you, Marcus and Rory.
Glottal.
Thank you. What a shame, just as it was getting fun, the gong has finished the game. Well, thank you, teams. Our next game is all about the world of cinema. The rise of social media has prompted concerns about plot spoilers, remarks or information which give away important plot elements of a film or drama, and which, if not monitored, can ruin the experience for others. Actors are particularly conscious about revealing spoilers to the shows that they're in, as I learned from an actor friend of mine shortly before he took to the stage as the murderous policeman in Agatha Christie's The Mousetrap. Ah, shut up. Think of the money I saved you. So, in this round, teams, I'll read out some genuine but incomplete straplines to a series of famous films, and your job is to try to complete them. Okay. So the first cinema strapline is for you, Pippa. Can you complete it? It's from The Wild Bunch. Unchanged men in a changing land, out of step, out of place, and...
Still presenting Top Gear.
And desperately out of time. Marcus, this is from Braveheart. His passion captivated a queen. His courage inspired a nation. His...
Comments about Jews were a bit much.
was, in fact, his heart defied an empire.
Oh.
Tony, how about this one? It's from Predator. If it bleeds, we can...
Give you an appointment in early September.
It says, in fact, if it bleeds, we can kill it. Rory, how about this? It's from Rosemary's Baby. Conceived in terror, born in fear.
Brought up in Swindon.
Pray for Rosemary's Baby. All right, another one for you, Pippa. It's a tagline from Jaws for you to complete. There is a creature alive today which has survived millions of years of evolution. Without change, without passion, without logic, a mindless eating machine. It will attack and devour anything. Try to imagine.
Greg Wallace.
He's actually tried to imagine meeting the devil with Jaws. Marcus, this is from Jaws 2. I mean, it's from Jaws 2, not... This is also
Yes.
from Jaws. Yeah. This is from Jaws 2. Just when you thought it was safe to go back in the water.
Severn Trent Water filled it with turds.
There's actually one good bite deserves another. And here are some for any of you to have a go at. This is from Scarface. He was Tony Montana. The world will remember him by another name.
Ian.
Of course, that was Scarface. This is from the film Wait Until Dark. Audrey Hepburn as a blind woman playing a deadly game of...
Who can park nearest to the sea?
Game of survival. How about this one? It's from Fight Club. How much can you know about yourself if you've never been in...
The bath when you need a poo.
when you've never been in a fight. Oh. And finally, from the film Gandhi, his strategy was peace. His weapon was...
poking out of his doty.
Thank you, Tony. I think you've ruined that film for pretty much everyone who heard it. Thank you. His weapon was his humanity. Well, this next round's all about television. These days, ITV actively encourages commercial sponsorship of its programming, their only criteria being that the product should reflect the programme's key demographic. Indeed, only last week, ITV announced that their lunchtime ratings winner, Loose Women, is to be sponsored by a female incontinence product. ITV claim the sponsorship won't change either the cast or the editorial content of the show, but from now on, Loose Women will be called the Four Tenors. The people whose job it is to come up with the ideas for radio and TV shows can be remarkably lazy with their programme titles. So I'll ask the teams to share examples of programmes where the content has been contrived to suit what someone thought would make a clever title. Marcus, you can start.
Next on CBBC, a small bear sells off the 100-acre wood to a palm oil plantation. That's Pooh Wants to Be a Millionaire.
Pippa.
Good news for sports fans here on BBC One. Usain Bolt and Dwayne Chambers will be fully dressed and made up as Colin Rooney and Rebecca Vardy as they compete over 100 metres. That's RuPaul's WAG race tonight at 9.
Tony.
On Channel 4 tonight, Anna Richardson hosts a team of Home Office civil servants who'll be stripping off their clothes and competing to see who's best at removing sensitive material from official documents. That's Naked Redaction at 10.
Rory.
Tonight, a Frozen Planet special, as we reveal the companies making millions exploiting the icy tundra. That's Cash in the Arctic. It's Sunday at 8.
Next on Channel 4, Larry David teaches you how to deal with persistent erection syndrome by rubbing dill and parsley all over it. That's Herb Your Enthusiasm.
After the news, Prince Andrew tells us about the many friends he's made in America's most exclusive circles and in the Saudi arms trade. That's Embarrassing Buddies at 10:30.
Make sure you don't miss the extraordinary documentary series on Netflix featuring the legendary Joe Exotic and his eccentric attempt to introduce pickled cucumbers to Bangkok. That's Ty Gherkin on Netflix. I'm not sorry.
Hello, I'm Kate Adie. Join me this morning as we create an icing sugar model of former Prime Minister Boris Johnson. That's from our own Boris fondant. After the news.
Tonight's Channel 4 Cost of Living programme travels to Eastern Europe to investigate the effects of power cuts in Warsaw. That's Poldark at 10 p.m.
On Gold Later, the classic World War II sitcom set in Nazi-occupied France, where the French resistance and a cafe owner attempt to keep a branch of The Body Shop supplied with extracts from soothing medicinal plants. That's Aloe Aloe. Later on Gold.
A real treat for younger children on BritBox, with the return of that much-loved character from the 1970s, the sentient colostomy pouch that lives in an antique shop. That's Bag Piss, now available.
Well, it's very nearly the end of the show. But there is just time to fit in a quick round of West Country Film Club. Samantha tells us she's just paid a visit to a local gentleman apple farmer who's recently bought an industrial apple press with a view to going into commercial drink production. She says she was delighted to assist him in squeezing the last drops of juice from his pippins and is confident he'll soon be very big inside her. Honestly, I think we should stop accepting jokes from Fiona Bruce, because I'm sick of it. Anyway, teams, in this round, I'd like you, please, to suggest titles of films likely to prove popular in the West Country. You can start this, Marcus.
Froom the Bell Tolls.
Pippa.
24-hour pasty people.
Rory.
Jesus Christ Supermare.
Tony.
Debbie Does Dawlish.
Goodwill Bumpkin.
Scone with the Wind.
So I Married an Axminster.
Fear and Loathing in Lyme Regis.
12 Angry Men Dips.
Ooh, our brother, where art thou?
Never Say Cheddar Again.
E.T., the Exeter Terrestrial.
Apocalypse Cow.
Bring me the Minehead of Alfredo Garcia.
And so, ladies and gentlemen, as the truculent teenager of time remains glued to the constant tablet of eternity, while the exasperated parents of posterity remind him who's paying the bloody bills, I notice it's the end of the show. So, from the teams, Samantha, myself, and our audience here in Bath, it's goodbye. Goodbye.
Tony Hawks, Pippa Evans, Rory Bremner and Marcus Brigstocke have been given silly things to do by Jack D, with Colin setting some of them to music. The programme consultants were Fraser Steele and Stephen Dick, and the producer was John Naismith.
We present I'm Sorry I Haven't a Clue, the antidote to panel games. At the piano is Colin and your chairman is Jack D.
Hello and welcome to I'm Sorry I Haven't a Clue. You join us this week from Bath. In 1942, Bath was targeted by Nazi bombers, hoping to dent Britain's resolve. The German attacks were known as the Baedeker raids, as the targets were inspired by the popular German travel guide, which highlighted only the most historic and cultural areas in England. Residents of Weston-super-Mare said they never felt so safe. The nation's favourite children's modelling clay, plasticine, was invented in Bath in 1899 by sculptor William Harbutt. At Harbutt's funeral in 1921, as a mark of respect, his remains were shoved up a toddler's nose. Entrepreneur James Dyson created the bagless vacuum cleaner at his former home in Bathford. The bagless vacuum soon led to a fall in sales of traditional machines, while the revolutionary Dyson ball cleaner led to a sharp increase in admissions to A&E. Let's meet the teams. They are, on my right, Tony Hawks and Pippa Evans. On my left, Marcus Brigstocke and Rory Bremner. And taking his place on the scoring desk next to me, please welcome our resident tree trunk in trunks, the immaculate Wehn. We start this week with some new additions to the Uxbridge English Dictionary. A good dictionary is essential for learning the correct use of similar terms. For example, many people don't understand the subtle difference in meaning between the words abrupt and curt. Well, abrupt refers to something sudden and unexpected, usually with negative overtones, whereas curt is what a Geordie wears in the winter. But the meanings of words are constantly changing, team. So your suggestions, please, of any new definitions you may have spotted recently. Rory, you can start.
Percussion. How Scottish upholsterers get paid.
Tony.
PPE. Accident during exercise class.
Pippa.
Trainee. A bit like a train.
Marcus.
Stylus. Homeless pig.
Indict. Birmingham food that's still okay to eat.
Aspiration. Breathing through your bum.
Omelette. Tiny Buddhist.
Papist. Make a purchase while drunk.
Tidings. Church bells in Bangkok.
Tabbouleh. Forbidden love.
Untenable. Really, really bad incontinence.
Condescending. Prisoner in a lift.
Shattering. A circular skid mark.
Okay, the teams are going to sing along to some well-known songs in the round called Pick-Up Song. In this round, Sven will spin the discs and each of you teams will sing along to your records until Sven turns the music down. If on its return you're within a gnat's crotchet of the original, I'll be awarding points. And points mean a stomach-churning parade of rampant, unchecked capitalism. What do points mean? Yes. And this week's prize is an original artwork by Bristol's latest graffiti artist whose personal struggle with weight gain is reflected in his work. Spanksy. So we'll have a duet, I think. Would you, Pippa and Marcus, I'd like you to accompany Sarah Brightman and Michael Crawford as Christine and the Phantom singing The Phantom of the Opera.
Sang to me, in dreams he came, that voice which calls to me and speaks my name. And do I dream again? For now I find the Phantom of the Opera is here, inside my mind.
Sing, my little angel of music. That's it. Sing for me and for Jessica. I've had a bit of trouble. There she goes, the angel of music. Look at her singing.
Sing, my angel of music.
Thank you. Pippa and Marcus brought the house down, and most of the stray dogs have barfed to the theatre. Well, the teams are going to do a spot of acting for us now in the round called Sound Charades. This game is all about miming, the theatrical technique of suggesting action, character or emotions without words. I recently took part in a week-long workshop at the International School of Mime in Paris. My wife described it as a waste of time and money. I couldn't possibly comment. So in our version of the game entitled Sound Charades, team members are permitted the use of their voices. So Marcus and Rory, you're to start, please, and your title will shortly be displayed to the audience via the laser display screen. And here is the mystery voice for listeners at home.
Puttin' on the Ritz. Puttin' on the Ritz.
So off you go, please, Marcus and Rory.
Now, this is 4 words, and it's a song. Here we go.
Good heavens, do you see what I see up there?
What?
Up there, standing on the very topmost roof of that well-known hotel in London's Piccadilly.
Oh, yes. Look at that. What is it? Is it Dobby the house elf?
No, I think it's that monstrous bastard from Moscow.
Oh, so it is.
Could it be Putin on the Ritz?
Yes.
Putin on the Ritz.
Okay, thank you. So a title for Pippa and Tony, now on the laser display board. And here, once again, is the mystery voice for listeners at home.
Frozen 2. Frozen 2.
Well, this is a film.
It's a film.
Film. How many words, Pippa?
2 words.
2 words. And it goes like this. I'm bloody cold.
So am I.
Big chill.
Good effort.
Frozen 2.
Yes.
Too quick, very good. It's now time for a round called Own Brand Condoms. With the cost of living crisis in full swing, many high street retailers have decided to manufacture and market their own condoms, but without changing their usual advertising straplines. So teams, I'd like you please to provide examples of some of these famous own brand condoms together with the accompanying advertising slogans. So Pippa, you can start.
Greg's condoms. Always fresh, always tasty.
Marcus.
Shredded wheat condoms. Bet you can't eat 3.
Rory.
Pringles condoms. Once you pop, you can't stop.
Tony.
Radio Times condoms. If it's on, it's in.
Dyson condoms. Say goodbye to the bag.
TV Times condoms. I never knew it had so much in it.
Alpro soy condoms. This is not milk.
Pepper Army condoms. It's a bit of an animal.
Burger King condoms. It takes 2 hands to hold a Whopper.
Odeon Cinema condoms. Coming soon.
Bisto condoms.
Lottery condoms. You gotta be in it to win it.
Del Monte condoms. The man from Del Monte says, yes, 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 yes!
Aerial condoms. There's another load off your mind.
Well, it's now time to play the game called Mornington Crescent. At first, I notice our postman genuflecting in pain under the unbearable encumbrance of a letter. It comes from a Mrs. Trellis of North Wales. She writes, "Dear Rick Stein, on a visit to your famous fish and chip shop, I asked if my cod could be sustainably sourced and was told I could have tomato or HP like everyone else. Yours sincerely, Mrs. Trellis." On with the game, teams, and since we're in the fine Georgian city of Bath, where better than to play a round of Mornington Royal Crescent? Yes, yes. So in this version of the game, the path between moves must be in the shape of a crescent or curve. Straight line travel is not allowed, and nor are non-parabolic curves such as hyperbola, strophoid, or serpentine curves. I can see the teams are eager to get stuck into this one. So, Tony, you can start us off, please.
Well, if it's Royal Crescent, it would be absolutely right to start with King's Cross.
Okay.
Well, then Royal Oak.
Royal Oak, yes. Yes, very nice.
Okay, then I would probably, to keep with the no straight lines, go to South Kensington.
No, it's a serpentine curve. Sorry. Have another go, Pippa.
Okay, sorry.
It's close.
Sorry. I'd probably go to Richmond then.
Not really, no, it's a trident curve. You can't... and I'm afraid I can't let you have a third go on this round, but better luck next time, eh? Rory.
Queen's Park.
Queen's Park.
He can't do that, Jack, can he?
Yes, he's quite right. That's a fractal curve. It's permitted.
Ah.
Yeah, that was okay.
Oh, okay.
You probably thought that was non-parabolic,
I did.
you, Tony?
I thought it was
Yeah.
I did.
What a basic mistake.
You know, I feel like such
Sorry, mate, but honestly...
I feel like such a fool. It's, Regent Street.
Regent Street, yeah, okay.
Regent Street.
Okay. Well, then Leicester Square.
Very nicely done, yeah. That's what we would call a folium curve, in actual fact. Perfectly right. Leicester Square.
Okay,
Well done.
They knew.
Of course it is. Yeah.
So Leicester Square, I should probably, if I'm thinking about it, if I imagine a protractor going round, we could go to Charing Cross.
Oh, I'm afraid not. That would be a radial curve, which is one of the
Well, you didn't say radial curl
non-permissive
earlier.
ones. Well, I was kind of hoping you'd already know.
Okay, Green Park.
No, bell curve. Bell curve. So, it's not your day, is it? Rory.
Holborn.
Nice.
Holborn, then Belsize Park.
Ah.
Why is that allowed?
Yeah, but it's good.
Because that's a slinky spiral.
I'll tell you what, I'll tee one up for you, Pippa.
Thank
all right?
you.
Lambeth North.
Okay, yeah, thank you. Okay, London North, Covent Garden.
You can't have the cruciform curve. Not following Hyde Park. Come on, Pippa.
This is workplace bullying, Jack.
It's not. It's just sticking to the rules. Sticking to the rules.
Okay, we're going to go to Canada Water.
Canada Water, classical modular curve. Yeah. Not allowed. Rory.
Earl's Court.
Mornington Crescent.
Of course, Tony should have said Mornington Royal Crescent, which means he doesn't win and it goes to Pippa instead. Well deserved, Pippa. Well deserved.
Thank you. Thanks.
Okay, well, this round is all about reviews. Shoppers today increasingly rely on reviews from consumer magazines before buying anything or going anywhere. And that presumably explains Nicola Sturgeon's recent subscription to Which Prison magazine? In this round, I shall present the teams with a selection of genuine internet reviews, and their job is to correctly identify to what the review is referring. So, start with you, Rory. What is being reviewed here? I got this for myself, but my cat absolutely loves it.
Cat food.
It's actually a review of a scalp scratcher from Amazon. Marcus, how about this? What's this a review of? Outrageously expensive. When I last went 65 years ago, it cost £1.
Wales?
In fact, it was a review of the Roman baths in TripAdvisor. You know. Yeah. Pippa, what's this a review of? Doesn't flap about as much as the previous ones I've had.
Wingless pigeon.
It's a floppy fish cat toy from Cat Toys for Indoor Cats. Tony, how about this? Not great, leaving stains.
Day trip to Staines.
It was actually a review of Duck Liquid Toilet Cleaner, Deep Action Gel, yeah. Rory, what's this a review of? Great at first, but then completely stopped working after 5 months.
Harry and Meghan.
How dare you, Rory?
It's actually a review of a nose hair trimmer on Amazon. Marcus, what about this one? If it was up to me, I'd just remove the cross and have these all year.
Easter.
Strangely enough, you're quite close. It was Sainsbury's Fruity Hot Cross Buns. Oh. Yeah. Pippa, what's this a review of? Sometimes she humps it first before curling up. Totally normal, just establishing she is the dominant one.
Richard Madeley.
It's a review of a snuggle puppy stuffed toy for dogs. Oh. It's a pet calming aid. Tony, what's this a review for? The misspelling on the box is a little off-putting after the price I paid for it.
Scabble.
It's actually a review of a telescope. And finally, Rory, what's this a review of? Brilliant. My wife and I had the whole lot stripped in minutes.
The Parachute Regiment.
It's actually wallpaper stripper. Well, the next game is a musical one entitled Song Stoppers. And in this round, panellists from each team will take it in turn to sing the opening line to a series of well-known songs. It's the job of their teammate to answer each opening line in a manner likely to end the song altogether. At the piano, we have Colin Sell. Colin tells us he's just finished touring with the Four Tops. Yes, and yet only 2 pairs of pants. I see you found the Red Cross shop. OK, you can go first, Marcus and Rory. Can we have your medley of first lines now, please?
Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are.
Well, interestingly, what you call a star is as likely to be a partially collapsed sun in a completely different galaxy, a really long way away. Oh, you've gone to sleep.
Got myself a crying, talking, sleeping, walking, living down.
Now all you need's a bicycle pump. I'm getting married in the morning.
Of course you are, Mr. Murdoch. Oh yeah, I'll tell you something I think you'll understand.
I think one of the main issues at the moment is the nut butters, you know, leading around a few and all that. The whole problem we got with the farming is totally misunderstood. Nut butters for Clarkson haven't done any good for it either. Hello, hello, hello. Is there anybody in there?
Yeah, I'll give it 5 minutes if I were you.
Singing, don't worry about a thing. 'cause every little thing is gonna be alright.
That was a party political broadcast on behalf of the Conservative Party. Oh yeah, we're jamming. I wanna jam it with you. Oh yeah, jamming, 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 jamming. I hope you like jamming too.
Yeah, I'm from Devon, mate, so it's creaming first and then jamming.
Thank you. Okay, it's your turn now, Pippa and Tony. Can we have your first line medley?
It's so good, it's so good, it's so good, it's so good, it's so good.
Repetition. She may be the face I can't forget, a trace of pleasure or regret, the one I care for through the rough and ready years. I'll take the laughter and her tears, I'll make them all my souvenirs, for where she goes I've got to be. The meaning of my life is...
You can't remember her name, can you?
I guess that now it's time for me to give up.
But Mr. Biden, you're only 104. We don't need no education.
Hello, children. This morning we'll be doing double negatives. Oh, Danny boy, the pipes are calling.
No, Grandad, it's just the heating's come on. I see trees of green, red roses too.
Yes, well, if you just back the car off the roundabout now...
I get knocked down, but I get up again. You ain't ever gonna keep me down.
How do you like it as a lollipop lady?
When I look back upon my life, it's always with a sense of shame.
Oh, I think 49 days as Prime Minister was very good, Liz.
Well, it's very nearly the end of the show, but there is just time to squeeze in a round called Coffee Drinkers Songbook. Incidentally, Sven is a renowned coffee lover and enjoys a number of blends. He says he particularly loves the sensory pleasure of grinding on the breakfast counter with a strong Costa Rican. And now just a few mouthfuls of extra dark Colombian can keep him up all night. Anyway, teams, in this round, I'd like you, please, to suggest the titles of songs likely to appeal to coffee lovers. So, Tony, you can start.
They tried to make me go for decaf, and I said no, no, no.
Pippa.
We don't need a Cafe Nero.
Rory.
I'm sipping on the Maca the Bay.
Marcus.
Heathcliff, it's me, I'm caffeine, I've come home and now...
Arabica Rigby.
You can go your own way.
Don't worry, be frappe.
Don't you wish your coffee was hot like me?
Hello, darkness, my gold blend.
DeLonghi and Winding Road.
And so, ladies and gentlemen, as the hallowed turf of time is cancelled on the social media of mortality, and the traditional Wiltshire gammon of grandiosity pops out to get his pink corduroys dry cleaned, I notice it's the end of the show. So, from the teams, Sven, myself, and our audience here in Bath, it's goodbye. Goodbye.
Tony Hawk's Pippa Evans, Rory Bremner and Marcus Brigstocke have been given silly things to do by Jack D, with Colin setting some of them to music. The programme consultants were Fraser Steele and Stephen Dick, and the producer was John Naismith.
We present I'm Sorry I Haven't a Clue, the antidote to panel games. At the piano is Colin and your chairman is Jack D.
Hello and welcome to I'm Sorry I Haven't a Clue. We come to you from Ipswich. Yes, known as England's most interesting town. 600 years ago. In the 14th century, there were 2 leper hospitals located just outside Ipswich. To prevent the spread of disease, the lepers were forbidden from travelling into town, although, to be fair, it would have been virtually impossible for any of them to thumb a lift. Ipswich's best-known son is Cardinal Thomas Wolsey. Wolsey became so important in the country, he was actually known as Henry VIII's right-hand man, which must have come in very handy between marriages. The association with Ipswich of Lord Kitchener of Khartoum is evident in the town as well, with local place names such as Khartoum Road, Omdurman Terrace, and of course the Wicks Bathroom and Kitchener Centre. Ipswich is home to the oldest church bells in the world, known as the Wolsey bells, which were cast in 1440 and whose chimes can be heard up to 5 miles away. And the town also produced the world's first commercially available lawnmower in 1902, powered by an internal combustion engine. It's this extraordinary world-beating double achievement which has ensured that no one in Ipswich has had a Sunday lion for over 500 years. Let's meet the teams. On my right, please welcome Andy Hamilton and Henning Wehn. And on my left, Vicki Pepperdine and Ipswich resident Omid Djalili. And taking his place on the scoring desk next to me, please welcome our resident tree trunk in trunks, the immaculate Sven. Well, we start this week with a game to make Henning feel at home. It's called German Jokes. It's actually the second time we've tried this round on the show. Unfortunately, the last time we played it, Henning came out the loser. And sadly, if history has taught us anything, Henning, it won't be second time lucky for you. Well, many British people are inclined to believe the mistaken stereotype that Germans have no sense of humour. And to disprove this, Henning has brought along some of his favourite examples of German humour to share with us. So, Henning, if you'd be kind enough to start us off by telling a typical German joke, and I'll ask the others to share some of their favourites as well.
Thank you, Jack. How do you make a Venetian blind? You take pieces of slatted wood and join them together with cords.
Omid.
How many Germans does it take to change a light bulb? Why would it take more than one? It is a simple procedure.
Andy.
2 nuns are taking a bath. One says, "Where's the soap?" And the other one says, "Having 2 nuns in one bath is very unhygienic."
I've got a nun one as well, actually. Two nuns are riding a tandem along a cobbled street. One says, "I've never come this way before." And the other one says, "No, me neither. I normally use a vibrator."
What do you call a deer with no eyes? Very easy dinner for a large predator.
What do you call a man with a spade in his head? An ambulance.
What's black and white with red spots? A zebra about to be assassinated by multiple laser-sighted firearms.
Doctor, I keep thinking I'm a dog. Well, you're not. Next patient, please.
Why can't you hear a pterodactyl going to the toilet? Because it's considerate enough to urinate against the porcelain.
How many elephants can you fit into a Mini? It depends whether they are still alive or you have dismembered them.
Why did my grandfather cross the road? To occupy France.
Well, time for a musical round now, as I ask the teams to sing one song to the tune of another. It's a complicated round which bears some explanation. Try to imagine a song as being like the swamplands of the southeastern United States. The swamp itself represents the tune, while the numerous native alligators represent different lyrics. Thus, as one alligator or lyric is stealthily replaced in a swamp or tune by another alligator or lyric, so the tune of one song can be sung to the lyrics of another. Of course, when rogue alligators become a menace to homeowners, they are captured, bound in duct tape and relocated. During a trip to Florida, I was lucky enough to witness this happening. And it's certainly not that often that you see a prehistoric creature thrashing hopelessly about on the Keys. Which reminds me, at the piano, Colin Sell. Colin tells us in the 1980s he used to manage level 42, and to this day it's still the NCP's highest multi-storey car park. Start with you, Andy Hamilton. I'd like you to sing the words of Rasputin by Boney M to the tune of Danny Boy.
There lived a certain man in Russia long ago. He was big and strong, in his eyes a flaming glow. Most people looked at him with terror and with fear, but to Moscow chicks, he was such a lovely dear. Rah, Rasputin, lover of the Russian queen, there was a cat that really was gone. Rah, Rasputin, Russia's greatest love machine. It was a shame how he carried on.
Okay, your turn now, Henning Wehn. I'd like you to sing the words of the German national anthem to the tune of This Old House by Shakin' Stevens.
Einigkeit und Recht und Freiheit für das deutsche Vaterland. Danach lasst uns alle streben, brüderlich mit Herz und Hand. Einigkeit und Recht und Freiheit sind des Glückes Unterpfand. Blühe im Glanze dieses Glückes, blühe deutsches Vaterland. Einigkeit und Recht und Freiheit für das deutsche Vaterland. Danach lasst uns alle streben, brüderlich mit Herz und Hand. Einigkeit und Recht und Freiheit sind des Glückes Unterpfand. Blühe im Glanze dieses Glückes, blühe deutsches Vaterland.
Thank you, Henning. Well, I must say, I didn't expect the audience here to start goose-stepping, but that was really... Your turn now, Vicki Pepperdine. I'd like you to sing the words of Don't Ya by the Pussycat Dolls to the tune of Louis Armstrong's What a Wonderful World.
I know you like me. I know you do. That's why whenever I come around, she's all over you. And I know you want it. Somebody make some noise! It's easy to see. And in the back of your mind, I know that you should be on with me. Don't you wish your girlfriend was hot like me?
And finally, Omid Djalili. I'd like you to sing the words of Marvin Gaye's Sexual Healing to the tune of My Favourite Things from The Sound of Music.
Oh, baby, I'm hot, just like an oven. I need some loving, and baby, I can't hold it much longer. It's getting stronger and stronger. When I get that feeling, I want sexual healing. Sexual healing, oh baby, makes me feel so fine. Helps to relieve my mind. Sexual healing, baby, is good for me. Sexual healing.
Thank you, teams. Well, this next round has a medical theme. The teams will assume the role of doctors and patients suffering from an imaginary medical condition, and you can be our first patients, Andy and Henning. The identity of your mystery medical condition is now being displayed to the audience via the laser display screen. And for listeners at home, here's a mystery voice.
Andy and Henning think they're racehorses. Andy and Henning think they're racehorses.
Andy and Henning, you must outline your symptoms to doctors Vicki and Omid, and they'll be awarded points based on how accurately they're able to diagnose your condition. Off you go.
Come in. How can we help you?
Well, I think the crux of our problem is we're both extremely well-bred, from very pure stock, and that makes us quite sort of nervy and highly strung.
Which is why I just kicked your receptionist.
Yeah, sorry about that. She came up behind him. We don't like that. The truth is, we've both grown up in a very toxic environment. I mean, we both suffered.
Yeah, we've both been groomed from a very early age.
Yeah. And our workplace environment is so hard. Oh, sorry, I've got a glimpse of a dog outside. We're very easily startled.
Which is why he just crept on your carpet.
Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, so you can put it on your roses.
I don't like my work, but I'm saddled with it.
Yeah. And they bully us. There is always someone on your back.
Usually a little Irishman, or that Italian git if you're good enough.
Yeah. They push us too hard. We're going to end up knackered.
Some days are horrible. I mean, take yesterday. Things were going terribly. I was having a mare.
Well, you were having lots of mares.
Well, someone left the gate open, so I thought...
I keep getting flashbacks to Nam. Cheltenham. We just need help, Doctor.
That's right. I hope you'll be more sympathetic than the medical professionals that my brother saw. He turned up for his appointment with a twisted ankle and they shot him.
I think they think they're racehorses.
Very well done. Yes, exactly right. Absolutely spot on. Okay, your turn to be the patients, Vicki and Omid, and the identity of your mystery medical condition will now be displayed to the audience via the laser display board, while here again is the mystery voice for listeners at home.
Vicki and Omid think they're sewage. Vicki and Omid think they're sewage.
All right, so when you're ready, off you go.
Okay, come in. What seems to be the problem?
I hope this works, doctors. I don't think I've been successfully treated before.
Yeah. I mean, we're really unhealthy, and people don't have a good word to say about us, do they?
Yeah, my eyesight's not what it was, and I've told I've got floaters.
Floaters. I just feel constantly drained. And the thing is, actually, I've just been dumped. In fact, twice in quick succession, in fact.
Yeah, me too. I've been pumped and dumped. At the moment, I've got no direction. I'm just sort of, drifting and, bobbing along.
I mean, I've actually been discharged from work. And it was quite a senior role. In fact, I've had quite a lot of big jobs over the years.
Yes, I was discharged too. I asked why. They said I was taking the piss. And,
It's making it much harder for us to enjoy our hobby. We love wild swimming. In the country's many lovely seas and rivers.
Yeah, I get into the river whenever I can.
Yeah.
Even when it's raining, especially when it's raining.
I mean, other swimmers complain about us being there, but I think they just keep their mouths shut.
And do you think you're sewage pipes?
Sewage,
Yeah, sewage, yes.
Well, the next game is called Complete Children's Rhymes. I have before me a selection of genuine but incomplete children's rhymes, which I'd like you to finish off for me, okay? Vicki, you can start. Can you finish this off? Hot cross buns, hot cross buns.
Oh, I've sat on the barbecue again.
Here's one for you to finish, Omid. Solomon Grundy, born on a Monday, christened on Tuesday, married on a Wednesday, took ill on Thursday, worse on Friday, died on Saturday, buried on Sunday. This is...
The Craig David song that never really took off.
One for you, Henning, now to finish. Georgie, Porgy, pudding and pie, kissed the girls and made them cry.
When the boys became abusive, he kissed them too, for he's inclusive.
Good. Andy, can you complete this one, please? Here is the church and here is the steeple. Open the door.
And here's the new Weatherspoons.
How about this one, Vicki? There was a crooked man, and he walked a crooked mile. He found a crooked sixpence against a crooked stile. He bought a crooked cat, which caught a crooked mouse, and they all...
lived together at number 10 Downing Street.
What about this one, Omid? There was a little girl, she had a little curl right in the middle of her forehead. When she was good, she was very, very good, but...
When she was Prime Minister, she was shit.
And another one for you, Henning. Can you complete this one? Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall. Humpty Dumpty had a great fall.
The wall's design was incorrect. So he won 10 grand with claims direct.
Well, here's some for any of you to have a go at, okay? Tinker, tailor, soldier, sailor, rich man, poor man, beggar man.
Token woman.
And how about this one? Can anyone finish this one? The grand old Duke of York, he had 10,000 men.
At a pizza party in Woking, and he never went there again.
All right, here's another one for some of you to finish off. Rock-a-bye baby on the treetop. When the wind blows, the cradle will rock.
When the bow breaks, it'll all hit the deck, and that's going to show up on your DBS check.
And finally, can any of you finish this one off? Old Mother Hubbard went to the cupboard to give her poor dog a bone.
But when she bent over, Rover came over and gave her a bone of his own.
The next game is a musical one entitled Song Stoppers. In this round, panellists from each team will take it in turn to sing the opening line to a series of well-known songs, and it's the job of their teammate to answer each opening line in a manner likely to end the song altogether. You can start, Andy and Henning. Can we have your medley of first lines now, please?
I dreamed a dream in time gone by, when hope was high and life worth living.
And then you voted Brexit?
All my bags are packed and I'm ready to go.
Oh no, it's a text from British Airways.
War! Ha! Yeah. What is it good for?
I tell you, distracting voters from domestic problems.
It must have been lonely in my shadow to never have sunlight on your face.
Yeah, because you're so big and fat.
I could while away the hours conferring with the flowers.
And that's the problem with working from home.
I mean, why am I doing all the singing?
I would love to give it a go.
Okay.
Yeah, go on, Colin. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands.
Okay, so that's why I'm doing all the singing. Next one, Colin, quick. My boy lollipop.
That's a very demeaning nickname for a penis.
You are the dancing queen, young and sweet, only 17.
Yeah, but let's not keep Emily Maitlis waiting, Your Royal Highness.
Okay, your turn now, Vicki and Omid.
Well...
I'm fine, thank you. You? I don't want to talk.
Fine, I don't want to listen! Head and shoulders, knees and toes, knees and toes.
At last, a dandruff shampoo for the very hairy.
Well, I'm the type of guy who will never settle down.
Swipe left. I heat up, I can't cool down.
I think that's the menopause.
Yes, it is!
You don't have to be beautiful to turn me on.
Why, no, you're a kettle. You were working as a waitress in a cocktail bar when I met you.
And now I'm working as a waiter.
You know that it would be untrue. You know that I would be a liar.
But I maintain no one briefed me that the letter, if not the spirit of the guidelines, was not being observed.
Well, it's very nearly the end of the show. Yes. There is just time to celebrate Ipswich's long history with a quick round of medieval songbook. Sven has a long association with the Horned Helmet, Sweden's premier Viking reenactment society, and thought he might have a crack at the top job after the retiring Viking chief announced he was open to offers from long-standing members. Sven says it was only after Eric Redbeard pulled out unexpectedly that he felt able to approach the boss and toss his own helmet in the ring. Is that the one Claire Balding sent in? Yeah, I thought so. Anyway, teams, in this round, I'd like you, please, to suggest titles of songs likely to prove popular in medieval times. All right, you can start this one, Andy.
Cliff Richard classic. We're all going on a summer holy war.
Omid.
Itsy bitsy teeny weeny yellow polka dot plague sores.
Henning.
Walking on the beaches, collecting all the leeches.
Vicki.
You were working in a fortress in a chainmail bra when I met you.
Dusty Springfield classic. I don't know what to do with my surf.
Uptown Monk.
There's a hole in my Beckett, dear Liza, dear Liza.
Sex and drugs and rock and roll. Sex and drugs and rock and roll. There you go.
Saxon.
I'll say it again.
Yeah.
Sex and drugs and rock and roll.
She loves ye verily, verily, verily.
Lipstick on your cholera.
I'll be your long-haired leper from Liverpool.
Bring your daughter to the hang-drawn quarter.
Pauper don't preach.
That's why the lady is a witch.
Come on, baby, knight my friar.
And so, ladies and gentlemen, as the talentless tattooist of time omits to inquire exactly how many E's there are in eternity, and the pissed-off patron of posterity books himself into the 12-week laser course of calamity, I notice it's the end of the show. So, from the teams, Sven, myself, and our audience here in Ipswich, it's goodbye. Goodbye.
Andy Hamilton, Henning, Wehn, Vicki, Pepperdine and Omid Djalili were being given silly things to do by Jack D, with Colin setting some of them to music. The programme consultants were Fraser Steele and Stephen Dick, and the producer was John Naismith.
We present I'm Sorry I Haven't a Clue, the antidote to panel games. At the piano is Colin and your chairman is Jack D.
Hello and welcome to I'm Sorry I Haven't a Clue. You join us today on a visit to Ipswich. Yes. In 2015, Ipswich was rated as the third happiest place to live in the UK. Yeah. Coming in at number 1 and number 2 were Anywhere and Else. The Ipswich Transport Museum attracts fans of antique trams and vintage buses from around the world. The museum was recently licensed to conduct marriages and hopes one day to hold a ceremony for its members. just as soon as one of them gets a girlfriend. One of the town's most popular tourist attractions is the Clutopia Ipswich escape rooms. Visitors pay to be trapped in a series of horrifying rooms from which they have to escape. Of course, if Clutopia is fully booked, a similar experience can be enjoyed simply by checking into the Travel Lodge on Duke Street. Actor Ralph Fiennes was born in Ipswich in 1962. Although his first name is spelled R-A-L-P-H, it's pronounced Rafe. A recent survey showed only 9 babies were called Rafe in the UK last year. Mind you, that's still 9 more than Rolf. Ed Sheeran grew up in nearby Framlingham and as a teenager used to busk in Ipswich town centre. One of his favourite pictures was outside the Tesco Express on Tavern Street. Young Ed proved to be a favourite with shoppers who looked at him and thought he's going to be a star and I must remember to buy ginger nuts. The Ipswich waterfront is home to the University of Suffolk. Established in 2007, Suffolk University was placed 105th in the Sunday Times Good Education rankings, just one place below Hogwarts. Local team Ipswich Town FC, called the Blues or the Tractor Boys. The Blues because that's the colour of their home strip, and the Tractor Boys because that's what their highest earning players drive to work. Literary legend George Orwell lived in Suffolk. Born Eric Blair, the author took his celebrated surname from the local River Orwell. Imagine what kind of loser takes his surname from the name of a river. Really? What, in Scotland? As I said, what a great idea, naming yourself after a river. Funnily enough, an author from Diss recently decided to follow Orwell's example, using his own local waterway, the River Wehn. He's now known as Nigel Fullershit. Speaking of which, let's meet the teams. On my right, please welcome Andy Hamilton and Henning Wehn. And on my left, Vicki, Pepperdine and Ipswich resident Omid Djalili. And taking her place at the desk next to me to enjoy an evening of scoring, please welcome the ever-delightful Samantha. Well, we start this week with some new additions to the Uxbridge English Dictionary. A good dictionary is essential for learning the correct use of similar terms. For example, many people don't know the subtle difference between the words bleaching and tie-dyeing. Well, to bleach means to cause a material to become lighter by a chemical process or by exposure to sunlight, whereas to tie-dye means to clean something up in Birmingham. But the meanings of words are constantly changing, team, so your suggestions, please, of any new definitions you may have spotted recently. Vicki, you can start.
Cellulite, a shop that sells lamps.
Omid.
Celery, a bit like a basement.
Henning.
Capable. Anyone with a neck.
And Andy. I don't know why I came to you at that point.
No, I don't know. Girdle, a word game for ventriloquists.
Information, the red arrows.
Maximum. Very fat mother.
Disputing, what not to do in Moscow.
Baby monitor, a young lizard.
Decant, Cockney for Piers Morgan.
Farrago, a letter from your bank informing you that they're closing your account because you're a pain in the arse.
Jockstrap, device for catching Scottish people.
Aroma, singular gypsy.
Farsi, a Persian telescope.
Officiate, the cause of his food poisoning.
Plank, Japanese practical joke.
Arty Farty, the two Teletubbies who were dropped after the initial pilot.
Molasses, the rear ends of moles.
Bastardize, chronic ophthalmic defect that afflicts football referees.
Mirth, what a Geordie uses for eating and speaking.
Bin man, someone who is now a woman.
Okay, well, the teams are going to sing along to some well-known songs in the round called Pick-Up Song. Suffolk is home to many famous musicians: Ed Sheeran, Charlie Simpson from Busted, and Bill Wyman from the Rolling Stones. The octogenarian rocker lives in Bury St Edmunds, Suffolk's second most popular town after Bury Noel Edmunds. In this round, Samantha will spin the discs and each of you teams will sing along to your records until Samantha turns the music down. If on its return you're within a gnat's crotchet of the original, I'll be awarding points, and points mean a frankly sickening display of mass puerility. What do points mean? Yes, and this week's prize comes courtesy of the Saudi Arabian Cricket Federation. It's a pair of front row seats at the Lashes. Vicki, you're to start, and I'd like you to accompany Olivia Newton-John singing Hopelessly Devoted.
Guess mine is not the first heartbroken. My eyes are not the first to cry. I'm not the first to know there's no getting over you. I'm hopelessly devoted to you. But now there's nowhere to hide. Since you pushed my love aside, I'm out of my head. I'm hopelessly devoted to you. Hopelessly devoted to you.
Okay, you're next, Henning, and I'd like you to accompany Nina singing Neuner Neunschnick Luftballons. And in case any of you don't speak German like I do, I'll translate that. It translates as 99 air balloons or 99 red balloons, as we know it.
Du etwas Zeit für mich, dann singe ich ein Lied für dich von 99 Luftballons auf ihrem Weg zum Horizont. Denkst du vielleicht grad an mich? Dann singe ich ein Lied für dich von 99 Luftballons und dass sowas von sowas kommt. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 99 Luftballons. Auf ihrem Weg zum Horizont hielt man für UFOs aus dem All. Darum schickte ein General eine Fliegerstaffel hinterher, Alarm zu geben, wenn's so wär. Dabei waren dort am Horizont nur 99
Thank you, Henning. It's the one and only decent German song, and you murdered it. Okay, you're next, Andy Hamilton, and I'd like you to accompany Edith Piaf, singing Non, je ne regrette rien. For those of you who don't speak French like I do, that translates as No, I don't regret nothing.
Non, rien. Non, je ne regrette rien. Ni le bien qu'on m'a fait, ni le mal, tout ça m'est bien égal. Non, rien. Non, je ne regrette rien. C'est pavé, balayé, oublié. Je me fous.
Je me fous du passé.
Marvellous, thank you, Andy. Of course, what listeners at home couldn't see is that Andy actually brought his own tumble dryer in to sit on. Finally, would you, Omid Djalili, would you please accompany the boy band Blue singing All Rise?
Yo. Your Honor, please, gotta believe what I say. What I will tell happened just the other day. I must confess, 'cause I had about enough. I need your help, gonna make these things here stop. Baby, I swear I tell the truth about all the things you used to do. And if you thought you had me fooled, I'm telling you now, objection overruled. Oh baby, one for the money and a free ride, it's two for the lies that you did not. All rise. All rise. Three for the lies it be. Three for the times it be. That's four for the times it be. Faking. All right, I'm gonna tell it to your face. I rest my case.
Very good. Oh, marvellous. Well, the teams are going to do a spot of acting now for us in the round called Sound Charades. This game is all about miming the theatrical technique of suggesting action, character, or emotions without words. Germany's most famous mime was Otto Spengler, whose groundbreaking performances often ran counter to the mime orthodoxy of the day. Few would forget Spengler's appearance at the 1930 Berlin Mime Festival, when he outraged mime connoisseurs by controversially walking with the wind. A fierce critic of the regime, Spengler was jailed by the Nazis in 1939. In that year, he managed to escape from prison 9 times. It was only after his 9th escape that the authorities decided to incarcerate him in the notorious Spandau prison and not an invisible glass cube. Well, in our version of the game entitled Sound Charades, team members are permitted the use of their voices. So Andy and Henning, you're to start, please, and your title will shortly be displayed to the audience via the laser display screen. And for listeners at home, here's the mystery voice.
Cat on a hot tin roof. Cat on a hot tin roof.
Okay, you'll be guessing this one, Vicki and Omid, so off you go, please, Andy and Henning.
It's a play and a film, 6 words. Oh dear. How did that poor thing get up there?
I don't know, but the temperature is very high today and the structural covering is made from extremely conductive alloy.
God, yeah. I mean, it's poor little feet, miss.
Pause.
Oh, okay. It's poor little feet, miss. No,
Pause.
but I did pause. Oh, right, sorry, pause. Sorry, yeah, pause, of course. Yeah, yeah.
So I see English is your second language as well.
Has anyone rung the RSPCA?
Yes, they have, but they're busy rescuing a couple of donkeys who play centre-back for Ipswich Town.
Yeah. Okay, so, that poor creature, how did it get up there? Did it jump? Who's its owner?
My neighbour. Oh, here he comes. Hello there. We were just wondering how your pet got all the way up there, Mr. Zuma.
Something to do with the cat.
Yeah.
Yes.
Definitely something to do with the cat.
And a hot tin roof.
Yeah.
Yes.
Easy.
Okay, your turn, Vicki and Omid. Your title is now being exhibited on the laser display board, and here again is the mystery voice for listeners at home.
Free Willy. Free Willy.
Okay, so it's film.
Yes.
It's 2 words.
2 words.
2 words.
Hello. I'd like to buy a pair of testicles, please.
Well, you're in luck, madam. We actually have the complete set on offer today.
What? The whole package? And for the price of the testicles on their own?
That's right, madam. You buy the testicles, you get the rest on the house.
So if it's on the house, it's free.
Correct.
Is it Free Willy?
Correct.
Yes. Well, this next round is called In My Pants and is all about proverbs. Many proverbs have been adapted or shortened over the years. For example, blood is thicker than water was originally blood is thicker than water, although not as thick as someone from Great Yarmouth. So in this game, In My Pants, teams, your task is to suggest well-known proverbs, while mine is simply to say the phrase "in my pants" immediately after each proverb, but without laughing. Okay, so you can start, Andy.
Good things come in small packages.
In my pants. Vicki.
2 heads are better than 1.
In my pants. Henning.
It never rains, but it pours.
In my pants. Omid.
In the kingdom of the blind, the one-eyed man is king.
In my pants.
Easy come, easy go.
In my pants.
There's many a good tune played on an old fiddle.
In my pants.
The shits hit the fan.
In my pants.
The more the merrier.
In my pants.
A woman's work is never done.
In my pants.
Don't teach your grandma to suck eggs.
In my pants.
One swallow does not make a summer.
In my pants.
Nothing at all.
God moves in a mysterious way.
In my pants.
Accidents will happen.
Well, now for a round that's all about the world of television, which has seldom seen such a myriad of new programme commissions. For example, Netflix has recently commissioned Charlie Brooker to produce an unsettling dystopian show about people learning to drive. It's called Black Mirror Signal Maneuver. Now, the people whose job it is to come up with ideas for radio and TV shows can be remarkably lazy with their programme titles, so I'll ask the teams to share examples of programmes where the content has been contrived to suit what someone thought would make a clever title. Andy, you can start.
Now streaming on Netflix, an Agatha Christie classic as Monsieur Poirot tries to deduce which Frenchman has blocked the toilet on one of the world's most iconic trains. That's Merde on the Orient Express.
Henning.
This afternoon on Channel 4, a craft expert describes how using just felt, glue and scissors, she managed to repair her cat. That's the handmade tale, tonight at
8. Vicki.
Now on ITV, a documentary about the lowest paid male strippers in the UK. That's Bargain Hunk.
Omid.
Ben Shepherd hosts the new game show where celebrities consume copious amounts of alcohol in search of that final drink that sends them over the edge. Tipping pint.
Tonight on BBC One, the popular drama series set in a Yorkshire town that follows a group of residents in their attempts to prevent an epidemic of scurvy. That's Last Mango in Halifax.
Tonight, a documentary about heroin addiction presented by father and daughter duo Zoe and Johnny Ball. That's Smack and the Balls. After the break.
Over on CBBC, it's a throwback to the 70s, when a studio full of unruly school children are given the choice of sitting through a live show from the host of this programme or receiving a potentially lethal dose of Class A drugs. That's Crackle Jack.
Tomorrow morning on CBeebies, keep the kids entertained with the charming animated adventures of a man with church bells for buttocks. That's Clang Arse tomorrow morning at 10 a.m.
And next on BBC One, Jay Blades and his team of expert restorers fail miserably to mend much-loved antiquities belonging to members of the public, thus plunging them into an abyss of black, hopeless misery. That's The Despair Shop.
And now a harrowing film about prisoners of war forced to clear up fly tipping in the Severn Estuary. The Fridge in the River Wye.
Next on Channel 4, Rachel Riley examines just how many duck feathers there are in the average duvet in Countdown.
For all your romantics, a man who can't find love starts playing the bagpipes for 24 hours in the Yorkshire Dales. That's Sleepless in Settle at 8 o'clock.
If you prefer your TV free of woke PC nonsense, head over to Talk TV, where you can see non-stop coverage of a former Good Morning Britain presenter enduring a particularly painful, intimate piercing. That's Pierced Organ Uncensored. 24/7 on Talk TV.
Well, it's very nearly the end of the show, but there is just time to squeeze in a round called German Film Club. Samantha loves German dogs and has been paying regular visits to a Bavarian gentleman farmer friend who's a very keen breeder. Samantha's taken a couple of videos of their walks in the hills. The first shows his boxers going off like a shot. And in the second, a large German shepherd pants around his ankles, evidently very pleased to see her. It's another celebrity contribution. Just stick to country file, John Craven. Anyway, teams, in this round, I'd like you please to suggest the titles of films likely to appeal to Germans. All right, you can start this one, Andy.
Hairspray.
Vicki.
Conan the Bavarian.
Omid.
Hitler on the Roof.
Henning.
Carry on up to Kaiser.
Frau Willy. The Spy Who From the Cold In Came.
20,000 Bundesleagues under the sea.
Henning, ich habe die Kinder geschrunken.
Meet the Fockers.
Back to the Führer.
Audi West was won.
The importance of being Ernst.
The Pink Panzer.
Anything starring Black Forest Whitaker, Kaiser Minnelli, or Guten Morgen Freeman.
He's just not that into you, boat.
Stasi and Hutch.
9.5 weeks.
The Great Recapture.
And so, ladies and gentlemen, as the clueless contestants of time don the bargain hunt fleeces of fate, and the cracked Clarice cliff of calamity fails to turn a profit at the almost empty auction of antiquities, I notice it's the end of the show. So from the teams, Samantha, myself, and our audience here in Ipswich, it's goodbye. Goodbye.
Andy Hamilton, Henning, Wehn, Vicki, Pepperdine and Omid Djalili were being given silly things to do by Jack D, with Colin setting some of them to music. The programme consultants were Fraser Steele and Stephen Dick, and the producer was John Naismith.
We present I'm Sorry I Haven't a Clue, the antidote to panel games. At the piano is Colin and your chairman is Jack D.
Hello and welcome to I'm Sorry I Haven't a Clue. We come to you from historic Northampton. Human activity has been recorded in Northamptonshire all the way back to the Paleolithic era, with hand axes and rudimentary blades recovered in the area dating back 800,000 years. Visitors keen to see exactly how prehistoric man might have made use of these blades and axes should visit King's Heath after dark. Northampton's reputation for shoemaking is believed to have started after a visit to the town by King John in 1213. However, it wasn't until the 19th century that the town became generally recognised as the UK's preeminent centre of shoemaking, when in 1831 Northampton's shoe production doubled almost overnight. Some put this down to the start of the Napoleonic Wars, others to a canny shoe salesman who had the bright idea to start selling them in pairs. John Clare, the 18th century peasant poet, was born in Helpston and is widely regarded as one of England's greatest working-class poets. During his lifetime, Clare found himself pulled between literary London and his illiterate Northamptonshire neighbours. And since we're coming from Northampton, I should clarify that when I say illiterate, it means you can't read or write. Northampton's most famous son is celebrated scientist Francis Crick, who co-discovered DNA in 1953. His groundbreaking work on DNA led both to the Nobel Prize for Medicine and 13 years of the Jeremy Kyle Show. Dr. Martens boots are made in Northamptonshire. Now, Dr. Martens are, of course, a perennial favourite with angry, racist, right-wing thugs, or as they prefer to be called, the Metropolitan Police. Northamptonshire is home to the Silverstone Racing Circuit, which I'm told is attempting to allay the elitist image of motor racing by running special programmes to introduce Northamptonshire's disaffected youth to the sport. The programme's generally considered a success. However, the most common complaint of the youngsters is how, after driving at speeds in excess of 200 miles an hour for several hours, when they do eventually climb out of the car, they're still in Northamptonshire. Actor Matt Smith was born in the town and played football for Northampton FC's youth team before a serious back injury forced him to give up football and take up acting. The club medic at the time was unsure as to exactly how Smith's injury was sustained, although lifting trophies was swiftly ruled out. Smith, of course, went on to a stellar acting career and is universally agreed to be everyone's all-time fifth favourite Doctor Who. This region has had a long connection with witchcraft. Claims of sorcery reached its peak in 1612 with the Northamptonshire witch trials, when several locals were summarily tried and hanged for the simple offence of riding a pig. And to this day, the area has still not received a visit from David Cameron. Let's meet the teams. On my right, please welcome Rachel Parris and Milton Jones. And on my left, Fred Macaulay and Sandi Toksvig. And taking our place at the desk next to me to enjoy an evening of scoring, please welcome the ever-delightful Samantha. Okay. Well, we'll begin this week with a round called Add a Word, Ruin a Quote. Conjuring a quotable sentence can mean the difference between immortality and failure. With this in mind, teams, I'd like you please to add a single word to a well-known quote in a manner likely to completely ruin it. So, Fred, you can start, please.
The best things in life are free, Willie.
Rachel.
Bond. James DePfeffel Bond.
Milton.
Mama always said, life is a box of chocolates. You never know. Oh, caramel.
Sandi.
I think, therefore I am female.
I think, therefore I am thinking.
You've got to be in shit to win shit.
It ain't over till the cat lady sings.
A chain is only as strong as its weakest link. Goodbye.
Dr. Martin Luther King, I have a dream catcher.
Beggars can't be umbrellas. That was an embarrassing incident outside Tesco.
Mahatma Gandhi, learn as if you will live forever. Live like you will die in an overpriced care facility with your kids hating you because you've spent their entire inheritance.
Reports of my death have been greatly exaggerated. Lol.
A friend in need is a friend in Kettering.
Nature abhors a cordless vacuum.
I've got one with the Scottish accent, so
All right.
Oh, good.
I feel like you're going to judge me.
I will.
Yeah. They may take our lives, but they'll never take our freedom passes.
Was that Scott? Oh, sorry.
Well, can I, in all fairness, it is every bit as good as Mel Gibson's.
Well, the next round is called Word for Word, and it's all about words. Language is a fluid thing, and many once popular words and phrases fall from general usage over time. And the same is true of dialect words. For example, in Northampton, in the 1920s, a cul-de-sac was known as a pudding bag. In the 1950s, a packed lunch was known as bait. And in the 1980s, a shoemaker was known as unemployed. In this round, each team takes it in turn to exchange a series of words, while the opposing team should challenge if they detect a connection between any of these words. Okay, I'd like you to start exchanging completely unconnected words, Rachel and Milton. Sandi and Fred, your job is to try to spot a connection. If I uphold the challenge, I'll ask you to take over, and so on. So off you go, please, Rachel and Milton.
Biscuit.
Organism.
Sandi, straight in there with a connection.
I mean, it's perfectly possible to have a biscuit with an organism. I think that's a reasonable snack.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is your hearing okay? I'm not going to uphold that on this occasion. So it's back to you, Rachel and Milton.
Toggle.
Anglesey.
Fred has come in there with toggle and Anglesey.
Can we confer?
Yes, you can, yes.
Good, thanks.
Is that one you want to know? So
if you're in Anglesey, the weather can turn on you. You would wear a duffel coat in order to be warm, and you might have a toggle on your duffel coat. I mean, I think that's a perfectly reasonable.
That's quite an abstraction, but yes, I'm gonna let you have that. I think it's only fair.
Thank you.
Well done.
No, the crowd don't like it.
You should have gone with organism and biscuit. I'm just saying.
I split the room, but I'm standing by that. So I'm proud of my choice, and I'm over to you, Fred and Sandi.
Selection.
Fungus.
Milton, selection, fungus.
That was a band I was in.
Yes, is that right? When
I was lead vocals.
How come we've never heard of them? All right, well, I'll take your word for it. So, yes, it's back to Rachel and Milton then.
Oh.
Crush.
Egg.
Sandi, straight in, crushed egg.
Surely crushed eggs, it's a thing, right?
Yeah. They would be if you crushed them.
Yeah.
Fair enough, I'll let you have that.
I think it's an omelette, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just straightforward.
Yeah. The trivia coming from your table is incredible. It's almost as if you do it for a living, Sandi. Okay. So it's back to Fred and Sandi.
Leggings.
Bridge.
Bequeath.
Tuber.
Mixology.
Milton, tuba mixology.
That was another band I was in.
Yeah, what sort of music were they into?
Easy listening.
Well, once again, I have to take your word for it because I can't disprove it. But so over to you, Rachel and Milton.
Grateful.
Mesopotamia.
Natter.
Moron.
Natter morons.
I mean, clearly. What? You want to confer?
I think it was a band that Milton was in.
Yes, one of them. Yeah. We think it was a band that Milton was in.
Yeah. Were you in a band called Natter Moron?
Yes.
You had a chance to get out of that, Milton, but you blew it, frankly. So it is. It's back to Fred and Sandi.
Kerfuffle.
Responsibility.
Metrosexual.
Rubber.
Bland.
Rachel, did you come in with?
Was there responsibility and rubber?
Yes, there
because
was.
wearing a rubber
that's
is a
fair.
responsibility.
Yeah.
It's an important one.
I mean, it's something I know nothing about, but I imagine.
Okay, well, yeah, you're technically, I suppose you are correct in that way. So it's back to you, Rachel and Milton.
Crumbs.
Australia.
Sandi, back in with Crumbs, Australia.
I had a very unfortunate experience in Australia with a biscuit and an organism.
Well, for perseverance alone, I'm going to let you have that. That's fair enough. So over to Fred and... And the gong tells us that I've just pressed the button to make the gong go. Okay, well, the next round is inspired by the popular singing show The Masked Singer, famous for its celebrities dressed as singing animals. And who doesn't enjoy a singing animal? I always say, if you've never witnessed a badger singing Bohemian Rhapsody or a pigeon belting out My Way, then you've never been to Chris Packham's house and tasted one of his special mushroom omelettes. Okay, well, in the radio version of The Masked Singer, a mystery member of the panel will perform a song of my choosing. However, just as the TV version ensures we can't see the mystery contestant properly by covering their face with a mask, in this made-for-radio version of the hit format, the audience and other contestants won't be able to properly hear the mystery singer. So I'll ask our technical team to turn off the lights so that the other players and the audience can't see who it is. So off they go, please. Thank you. So let the fun commence. Are you ready, Sandi?
Oh, yeah, I'm ready.
Fred?
Ready?
Good. Rachel, ready?
I'm ready, Jack, yeah.
Yeah, good. Milton? Well, I'll take that as a yes. Right. Mystery gagged singer. You will find in front of you on the desk the words to that classic song, I Can See Clearly Now. What?
I don't think that he can see the words because the lights are out.
Who said that?
That was Rachel.
No, might have known. Well, if the gag singer can't see the words, they can just make them up. It won't make any difference. Here we go, then. The mystery gag singer, accompanied by Colin. Off you go.
Jack, I can't see the piano.
Does that make any difference? Right, off you go, then. And Sandi, you've come in. You think you've guessed who it is?
Is it Michael Bublé?
Not Michael Bublé. Anyone else want to have a guess?
I'm completely baffled.
Yeah, I'll ask the audience. Any suggestions? No, I'm afraid, no, it's not Sophie Ellis-Bextor. Milton, who do you think it is?
I don't think that he can speak properly with the gag in his mouth.
Well, that's given the game away, hasn't it, Rachel? Spoiling everyone's fun as usual. Right, put the lights back on. Game over.
No, we'll never know.
Well, this next round has a medical theme. Incidentally, I've read that the Home Secretary, Suella Braverman, recently teamed up with the Secretary of Health with a proposal to put GP receptionists in charge of the UK's border control. Yeah. That way, no one's getting in. Right. So in this round, the teams will assume the role of doctors and patients suffering from an imaginary medical condition. And you can be our first patients, Milton and Rachel. The identity of your mystery medical condition is now being displayed to the audience via the laser display screen. For listeners at home, here's the mystery voice.
Rachel and Milton think they're sticks. Rachel and Milton think they're sticks.
So it's time for your appointment, Milton and Rachel. You must outline your symptoms to Doctors Sandi and Fred, and they'll be awarded points based on how accurately they're able to diagnose your condition. So off you go.
Hello, Doctor.
Hello, come in.
Thank you.
Where am I? Sorry, I just feel a bit thrown.
Me too. To be honest, I'm completely broken, and I have a great fear of dogs.
Me too. And to be honest, I have a fear of Ian Drury as well. It's such a shame because with the right environment, I could really blossom.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Sometimes I like to help an elderly man walk to the shops and then feed him a Chinese takeaway.
Go on.
Does it help us to tell you that we're quite stressed out at work as being part of a really large staff?
So a big company, some kind of big company, a firm.
But Milton's the branch manager.
To do with trees? Something to do with trees?
Woodlands?
From the audience.
Wow.
Thought you'd have twigged it by now.
Walking sticks? Walking sticks. Zimmers.
Zimmers. Any.
You have security, please.
Well, trust us to do a recording the night that the head of Radio 4's in.
I mean, we've got that it's to do with sticks and twigs and branches.
They do. They think they're sticks. I think
Sticks,
yes.
they're sticks.
Yeah.
They're sticks.
So sorry, I thought it was going to be cleverer than that. I'm so sorry. So sorry, I feel really bad now.
Well, it is your turn now to be patient, Sandi and Fred. And you've just been summoned into the surgery of Doctors Rachel and Milton. The identity of your mystery medical condition will now be displayed to the audience via the laser display board, while here again is the mystery voice for listeners at home.
Sandi and Fred think they're West Midlands trains. Sandi and Fred think they're West Midlands trains.
So, off you go, please. Outline your symptoms. Fred and Sandi.
Sorry I'm late.
Sorry, I'm late too.
It's all right. Come and sit down. What's the problem?
Well, okay, I'm going to start again. Actually, we're not really sorry.
Because we're going to be late next time as well.
Yeah. I mean, are you all right, Fred?
I'm all right. I mean, I feel kind of unfit. I know I should run more often than I do. You, Sandi?
Well, I just find I keep saying the wrong thing and I'm always getting cancelled. And do you know, I've not had a great relationship history. There's a lot of dodgy couplings.
Yeah. Me too. You know what I'm like. I'm a bit of a cheap date. As long as it's a Sunday and you book 4 months in advance.
I just feel this immense sense of guilt and shame, and I wonder if the only way out is to go public.
Well, we think we get the idea.
What, of the round? Start.
Just fall into place. Is it trains generally? Trains. Is it a local rail service?
Yeah. This is going to take ages, isn't it?
Midlands Rail?
I think we can let you have that, yeah. West Midlands trains.
West
Let's say, Yes. Well, now for a round that's all about television. These days, Channel 4 are constantly looking to push the boundaries of taste and decency with the desire of increasing their audience share. Indeed, only last week they announced a show where Harry Kane, Erling Haaland and Gabriel Jesus will undergo live colonoscopies. They're calling it Inside Number 9. The people whose job it is to come up with ideas for radio and TV shows can be remarkably lazy with their programme titles. So I'll ask the teams to share examples of programmes where the content has been contrived to suit what someone thought would make a clever title. Fred, you can start.
Food TV with handy hints for your hog roast at your summer barbecue. Tonight in Peppa Pig.
Sandi.
Tonight at 8 on BBC One, a rare insight into the private life of Boris Johnson as he attempts to ring the second of his 3 spouses in Call the Midwife.
Milton.
And now on BBC Two, it's time for the story of an ancient woman found in the Antarctic in David Attenborough's Frozen Janet.
Rachel.
A documentary now about the crazier side of the Edinburgh Festival, presented by a Strictly favourite. That's Claudia Winkleman's Mad Fringe.
Coming up on BBC Two, follow the lives of a group of salesmen who sell Venetian, Austrian and roller window fittings while not feeling well in Peaky Blinders.
Something very different now on BBC Four, a documentary about a Scottish man who sometimes thinks he's a loaf of bread. That's at 9 o'clock. Pan or Rama?
And now on BBC Two, Charlie Dimmock and the team attempt to transform an outdoor space by burying a former Romanian dictator under the lawn in Garden Ceausescu.
And now on ITV, watch a Norwegian clown triumph in this long-running reality show in Britain's Got Less Talent Than We'd Hoped.
And now on Dave, some South American military regimes try to find bargains in abandoned garages in storage juntas.
Heartwarming drama tonight on BBC Two as a newly married man ponders his wife's request to spend their honeymoon sitting at the graveside of former Prime Minister Sir Edward Heath, a location she's taken the pair of them to on several previous occasions. That's Bride Said Revisit Ted. Tonight on BBC Two.
Later on ITV, a taboo-busting investigation by Janet Street Porter and Linda Robson into the link between childbirth and bowel incontinence. That's Loose Women at 9 o'clock.
Well, it's very nearly the end of the show. There is just time to celebrate Northampton's history with a quick round of Shoemaker's Songbook. Now, Samantha tells us she spent yesterday with a gentleman cobbler friend trying on some very stylish high-heeled court shoes he'd made for her. She says she was delighted with the pumps he gave her, but says she did experience a little difficulty walking afterwards. Anyway, teams, in this round, I'd like you please to suggest titles of songs likely to prove popular with shoemakers and purchasers. You can start this one, please. Milton.
You picked a fine time to leave me loose heel.
Rachel.
Who let the clogs out? Who?
Fred.
Something by James Last.
And Sandi.
Just one stiletto.
Hello? Is it a 3 you're looking for?
The Messiah by George Frederick Sandal.
Clog on the Tyne is all mine, all mine.
Doctor, doctor, can't you see I'm Martin?
Sexual healing.
Take the last train to Clogsville.
Wellington.
Blisters are doing it for themselves.
Yeah.
Welcome to the house of fungal infections.
50 ways to leave your loafers.
I shot the sheriff.
Nikes in white satin.
Rock around the crock. Have we heard that?
Goodbye, they'll be ready Tuesday.
And so, ladies and gentlemen, as the torpid terrapin of time in the pet shop of punctuality is overlooked in favour of the golden hamster of hope, which itself is now just a bulge in the previously placid pet python of posterity, I notice it's the end of the show. So from the team, Samantha, myself and our audience here in Northampton, it's goodbye. Goodbye.
Fred Macaulay, Rachel Parris, Milton Jones and Sandi Toksvig were being given silly things to do by Jack D, with Colin setting some of them to music. The programme consultants were Fraser Steele and Stephen Dick, and the producer was John Naismith.
We present I'm Sorry I Haven't a Clue, the antidote to panel games. At the piano is Colin, and your chairman is Jack D.
Hello and welcome to I'm Sorry I Haven't a Clue. You join us today on a visit to Northampton. Northampton has been producing quality footwear for over 900 years. During World War I, the town's factories managed to supply over 23 million pairs of boots. This incredible contribution to the war effort is recognised in a special letter of thanks from a grateful nation, which is displayed in the town's museum. It's even signed by Kaiser Wilhelm himself. In the Middle Ages, Northampton was briefly the capital of England. This was during the period historians refer to as the capital of England shortage. Britain's first ever car chase took place in Northampton in 1899 between conman Frederick John Phillips and Sergeant Hector MacLeod of the Northampton Constabulary in the very latest three-wheel, single-cylinder motor cars of the age. Official police reports reveal that Phillips set off from the centre of town towards the Wehn Road, only to be caught after a 6-hour chase 800 yards away. Nearby Silverstone is the home of the British Grand Prix. Every year, over 300,000 fans gather to experience the thrill of Formula One and to listen to the Dutch national anthem. Both Carlsberg and Doc Martens are made in Northampton. Visitors to the Carlsberg plant are shown inside for a full tour of the brewery, whilst visitors to Doc Martens are shown outside for a good kicking. Northamptonshire was used as the location for the film Les Miserables. And if you're wondering why Northamptonshire might be considered a suitable backdrop for the extreme privation of pre-revolutionary France, why not pop up here for a weekend? The 2005 film and subsequent stage adaptation, Kinky Boots, was based in Northampton. Kinky Boots is in fact set in a traditional Northamptonshire shoe factory and not, as is often thought, a chemist for perverts. Alan Carr grew up in Northampton, where his father was the manager of Northampton Town FC. In his autobiography, the flamboyant, gap-toothed comedian writes of a troubled upbringing thanks to the twin threats of both homophobic bullies and ivory poachers. Sadly, Graham Carr's tenure as manager of Northampton Town was marked by little success and regular hospitalisations with chest infections thought to be caused by the inhalation of dust from the trophy cabinet. And talking of a series of unsuccessful seasons, let's meet the teams. They are, on my right, Rachel Parris and Milton Jones. And on my left, Fred Macaulay and Sandi Toksvig. And taking his place on the scoring desk next to me, please welcome our resident tree trunk in trunks, the immaculate Sven. Well, we start this week with some new additions to the Uxbridge English Dictionary. A good English dictionary is essential for learning the subtle difference between words. For example, many people don't know the difference between the words conjunctivitis and gingivitis. Well, conjunctivitis is a common condition that causes redness and inflammation on the thin layer of tissues that covers the front of the eye, whereas gingivitis is an allergy to Ed Sheeran. the meanings of words are constantly changing, team. So your suggestions, please, of any new definitions you may have spotted recently. Rachel, you can start.
Ombudsman, Buddhist florist.
Sandi.
Abacus, to swear in Swedish.
Milton.
Putin, chamber pot.
And Fred.
Perfect. Broken Irish cat.
Chichester, where you end up if you ask a taxi to take you to Chester on a cold day.
One from north of the border for you. Isle of Skye. Why I've taken up flying lessons.
Germinator, she was swallowed by a man from Stuttgart.
Anticyclone, one who is opposed to bicycle hire.
This is such a stretch. Infantilize, when you claim there's no alcohol in your fizzy drink.
Daventry, where you send Davids you don't want to talk to anymore.
Discombobulate. This has arrived, Robert. I was expecting you sooner.
Tartar. Second layer of asphalt.
Articulate, what do you say to a frozen landmass that doesn't turn up on time?
Hygienist, Simon Cowell.
Engineering, huge item of jewellery.
Nosebleed, understands first aid.
Omit, Irish glove.
Eclipse. Device for holding electronic messages together.
Pogenpol, German for it may look like a mortuary slab, but it's our kitchen and we like it.
Integrity. Doing whatever you want without any consequence or punishment.
The teams are going to do a spot of acting now for us in the round called Sound Charades. This game is all about miming the theatrical technique of suggesting action, character, or emotions without words. The greatest mime of all time was Marcel Marceau, whose book, The Art of Mime, is widely regarded as a seminal text and inspiration for generations of young actors. I read it, left me speechless. In our version of the game entitled Sound Charades, team members are permitted the use of their voices. So Rachel and Milton, you're to start, please, and your title will shortly be displayed to the audience via the laser display screen. For listeners at home, here's the mystery voice.
Broadchurch. Broadchurch.
So off you go, please, Rachel and Milton.
It's one word and it's a TV show. Wow, what a building this is.
I know, it's amazing, isn't it?
It is. The architecture is very interesting.
Indeed it is. It was actually built for the Bishop of Bath and Wells.
Really? But it's not a cathedral.
No, it's not a cathedral.
No, it's not a cathedral. And it's not especially long, is it?
No, not especially.
But it is wide.
Yes, it had to be wide.
Any reason?
It was the bishop. He moved diagonally.
What have you written down, Sandi?
Short and wide, I've put down. It's like a description of myself.
It's not cathedral.
It's not a cathedral.
So is it a church? church.
Something
and it's
like
one word.
church.
One word like church. Kirk. Short.
Church.
Oh, Broad Church. I'm genuinely delighted.
Your turn, Sandi and Fred. Your title is now being exhibited on the laser display board, and here again is the mystery voice for listeners at home.
Toy Story 2. Toy Story 2.
So it's a film?
It is, and it's 3 words.
Oh, they grow up so fast, don't they?
They do.
Little Tarquin. Look at him now in his 3-piece suit and his monocle, smoking a pipe.
He's a proper little conservative.
Have you put him down for Eton?
Starts on Wednesday.
Oh, goodness. How old is he now?
He is 3.
Oh, bless him. And what's that he's playing with? Is it a dolly?
No, it's his Jacob Rees-Mogg action figure.
So even his plaything's a conservative.
Yep. In fact, you could say Tarquin's a conservative and his...
I see where you're going.
One thing I will say is it's all a horrible image. But so it's obviously about conservatives.
Posh children. Schools.
Go back to conservatives.
Conservatives stay with conservatives.
Tory.
Oh, right. Something Tory.
Not only is he a conservative, but his...
Oh, Toy Story! Two.
Toys Story 2.
Yeah.
Toys Story 2.
So
Yeah.
good.
Okay, that's enough of saying Toy Story, okay? Well, the next game is called In My Pants and features the world of advertising. New legislation has meant that the UK advertising industry is now subject to its most stringent regulations ever regarding the truth and probity of its claims, a fact which has meant some hasty rewrites to some of the nation's better-known ad campaigns. This is perhaps best exemplified by the National Lottery's catchy new slogan, "It won't be you." So, in this game, In My Pants, teams, your task is to suggest advertising slogans, while mine is simply to say the phrase "in my pants" immediately after each slogan, without laughing. Might not be too much of a challenge, were it not for the fact that I actually had a laugh yesterday, so I've used up my quota for the month. So you can start, Rachel.
I can't believe it's not butter.
In my pants. Milton.
Catch it, bin it, kill it.
In my pants. Sandi.
Melts in your mouth, not in your hand.
In my pants. Fred.
Every little helps.
In my pants.
A chocolate and a toy.
In my pants.
Get Brexit done.
In my pants.
Breakfast of champions.
In my pants.
Do the shake and vac and put the freshness back.
In my pants.
Let your fingers do the walking.
In my pants.
You need the Polyfilla Crack Squad.
In my pants.
Think small.
In my pants.
Devon knows how they make it so creamy.
In my pants.
Ah, Bisto.
This is what it's come to. The next round is called What's the Question? A quiz format in the style of the BBC's own long-running series Mastermind. I've noticed there's even a celebrity version of the show which is posing some very hard questions, the most frequent being, who the hell is that? OK, teams, I'll provide the answers to various questions, and I'd like you to suggest what you think the original question would have been. OK, so we'll start with you, Fred. This is the first answer, and I want you to tell me what the original question might have been. There's no natural way for them to reproduce.
Why is there only one pope?
In fact, the original question was, what problem has the avocado plant suffered since the giant sloth went extinct 13,000 years ago? Rachel, another answer for you. I need the question. Controlling the weather, inventing the hamburger, and never needing a poo.
What is on my list of must-haves for a husband?
According to his official biography, these were 3 of the achievements of former North Korean dictator Kim Jong-il.
Is he single?
Milton, here's one for you. Here's the answer. An anti-cheating helmet.
During my A-levels, what was a stupid thing to wear over my cheating helmet?
It's in fact the question was, what does Bangkok University oblige its students to wear during exams? And finally, Sandi, here's the answer. What's the question? They make the lips vibrate.
Would you like to sit on one of these?
It's actually what concertina peppers do to the mouth. Yes. Fred, what about this one? Here's the answer. What's the question? To stop himself getting richer.
Why did Rishi Sunak want to be Prime Minister?
You're not very far from it, but it was why might Jeff Bezos spend £28 million a day? Jeff Bezos' net worth is so high that he'd have to spend £28 million a day to stop getting any richer. Jeez. Yeah. Poor guy. Rachel, how about this? Here's the answer. What's the question? 6 dots.
What constitutes a shit Dalmatian?
In fact, the question is, what is each letter in the Braille alphabet made up of? Milton, here's another answer. I need the question. The answer is feet first.
What's the best degree a chiropodist can get?
In actual fact, it was how a bat's born. And Sandi, here's the answer. What's the question? He's been dead for 30 years.
Doesn't Colin Sell do a surprisingly good job?
Exactly. What were Japanese officials told by a party sent to visit the oldest man in Tokyo to wish him a happy 111th birthday? They found his mummified remains, and his family had been living off his pension money. Here's some for any of you to have a go at, right? Here's the answer. I need the question, please. No ears, eyes, nose, brain, or heart.
What's the difference between vegetarian haggis and haggis?
The actual question was, what is a jellyfish lacking? Another answer for you I need the question for. Your poo is turned to gold.
Have you ever tried bed panning?
In fact, the question was, what do the advertisers say will happen if you buy and consume their special pills, which cost $425 online and contain 24-karat gold leaf? And the annoying thing is, you can't get your money back when it doesn't. Here's another for any of you to have a go at. Here's the answer. I want the question. Fear of cheese.
What's an Emmental breakdown?
The actual question, what is turophobia? That's fear of cheese. Is another answer. I need the question. The brown one.
Which Metropolitan Police officer does most TV interviews?
In fact, it was... the question was, which type of bear did the polar bear evolve from 150,000 years ago? And finally, Here's the answer. What's the question? Honestly, it's not for everyone.
What have we learned about the job of Prime Minister?
The question is, what is the official state slogan of Nebraska? That's what you see when you arrive. Honestly, it's not, well, at least it's honest. Well, it's now time for some music in the game called Song Stoppers. In the past months, theatre managers have been reporting increasing incidents of rowdy audiences disrupting performances of popular musicals. Only recently, in the opening seconds of the premiere performance of the musical Groundhog Day, a voice from the stalls called out, "Not this again." Well, in this round, panellists from each team will take it in turn to sing the opening line to a series of well-known songs, and it's the job of their teammate to answer each opening line in a manner likely to end the song altogether. At the piano, we have Colin Sell. Yes. Incidentally, Colin tells us he's been playing with wet leg. I'm no doctor, but maybe it's time to get that prostate checked out, Colin. You can go first, Milton and Rachel. Can we have your medley of first lines now, please?
The moment I wake up, before I put on my makeup.
Hurry up, or you're going to be late for clown school.
If you see me walking down the street and I start to cry each time we meet.
Look, do you want to buy my onions or not?
I'm spinning around, move out of my way.
Look, can you let someone else carry the coffin?
Birds flying high, you know how I feel.
Speckled with feces.
They paved paradise and put up a parking lot.
Good.
She wanted to test her husband. She knew exactly what to do.
She asked him the date of their anniversary.
Neighbors, everybody needs good neighbors.
Keep the bloody noise down, please. I'm so excited. I just can't hide it.
Maybe you could wear some different trousers, though.
Well, it's your turn now, Fred and Sandi. Can we have your first line medley, please?
I see trees of green, red roses too.
And does this lens make it a little bit better or worse? Our lips shouldn't touch.
Is it because you're a lesbian? You put the boom boom into my heart.
Yes, although the technical term is pacemaker. I'm sitting in the railway station, got a ticket to my destination.
Yes, West Midland Trains apologise for the cancellation of the 1748 service to London Euston. We have arranged a bus replacement service which will be here in about an hour. Doom-ba-dee, doom-doom-ba-be, doo-doo-boom-ba-baby.
Never buy false teeth online. when you're alone and life is making you lonely.
You're probably listening to Radio 4.
Summer loving had me a blast. Summer loving happened so fast.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that. It's honestly, it's never happened to me before.
Is it because I'm a lesbian?
Well, it's very nearly the end of the show. But there is just time to squeeze in a round called Builders Film Club. Yes. Sven is a huge fan of construction and has recently been renovating his roof. He says he's always first in the queue at the builders' merchants to get his asphalt. And only the other day he was eagerly helping a group of concreters empty their load before laying the lot in his driveway. You can tell Mary Berry that's the last of her jokes. I'm never going to read out. I'm not doing it anymore. Anyway, teams, in this round, I'd like you, please, to suggest the titles of films likely to appeal to builders. So you can start this one, Milton.
The colour purple?
Rachel.
Schindler's Snagging List?
Sandi.
With Nail and I.
Fred.
Who framed Roger's attic?
Brokeback, need ambulance.
28 days later than it should have been.
A Tale of Two Brickies.
Great Excavations.
The cook, the thief, the wife, her lover, and that electrician who was supposed to be gone 3 weeks ago.
Goodbye, Mr. Skips.
A river runs through it now.
Dial M for mortar.
The 39 steps will have to do.
Bring me the hod of Alfredo Garcia.
And so, ladies and gentlemen, as the toxic turd of time washes up on the British beach of benevolence, while the woeful water company of wastefulness faces their 50th fine of fate, I notice it's the end of the show. So from the teams, Sven, myself, and our audience here in Northampton, it's goodbye. Goodbye.
Fred Macaulay, Rachel Parris, Milton Jones and Sandi Toksvig were being given silly things to do by Jack D, with Colin setting some of them to music. The programme consultants were Fraser Steele and Stephen Dick, and the producer was John Naismith.